afterflow for Kevin from the Habitual Line Steppers. So anyway, I don't want this to be clickbait. So this is going to be a Q&A as well as talking about the myth of emotional abuse and abuse that everybody's talking about when it comes to like some of the criteria that Kevin Samuels gives. And I just want to address that real quick. So if you're new here, definitely make sure you like the video and subscribe. That's definitely appreciated. You know, I definitely have real conversations. Also, I'm going to have a Telegram in which, because I'm on other panels as well, in which people can kind of follow the conversation if they want to do so. So and if you have any questions for me as far as any of these topics, manosphere stuff, maybe some other things, you can definitely do that. What's up, Young Jay? So that Telegram is going to be lit. All you all got to do really is download Telegram and type in Edward Anderson. It actually should pop up, or Edward 200K, and it will pop up. I'll be promoting that. I'll have the link in the community tab in a little bit, and I'll have I have the link in the community tab in a little bit, and I'll start spreading that out because that Telegram is going to be really cool. Telegram, for those of you who don't know, it's an app very similar to WhatsApp. It pretty much, if you have WhatsApp, Telegram's the same thing, but it's more geared towards America. So even though people do use it overseas, it's the same functionality. It's literally the same thing as WhatsApp, like literally. But I love the app. I use it for a variety of different things. It's basically a text message chat app. It allows you to go into groups and certain things. The censorship is not there, like that. So it basically allows for you all to kind of be subscribed to me without being subscribed to me. No, you're not going to get a whole bunch of notifications like from me, and it's going to start hitting your phone up or anything. That's the beauty of it. You can kind of tap in the app, and the notifications come in the app. Now, if you want to do notifications on your phone, you can do that. And so I'm going to use that as a way of not only having a group that'll kind of operate under everything, but it also allows me to have a channel which allows me to broadcast like certain updates, certain events, maybe photos, pictures, things like that, and you all will interact with me. So it's a very incredible tool. I definitely like it. Yeah, I believe it's better than WhatsApp as well, Liam. So anyway, let's jump right into it because I don't want this to be clickbait because I did type in Kevin Samuels' name and the emotional abuse. So one of the main things that's being said about Kevin Samuels is he's an emotional abuser. I've heard Derek Jackson say this. I've heard Crystal Carrison say this. I've heard Crystal Carrison use somebody else to try to react to this. It's all these little angles. And I want people to understand something. Number one, this is not about Kevin Samuels per se. This is about the message that he has. Kevin, a message he has, and basically a candid conversation that needs to be had amongst black women and black men. Because truth be told, Kevin will check black men as well and call black men to operate on a higher standard. But that's not. But that's not really what that show is about, and that's not what it's directed to. So it is what it is. But but as far as how he has this idea of first of all, most people that are saying that are basically taking advantage of people's ignorance. And when I say ignorance, I mean that in the truest definition of the term, because they have only seen that video, so they can only comment on that video. This guy has 200,000 subscribers. Before this World Star thing, he had like 130, and really before maybe this year, he had like right at. I remember we went right at 100. So this idea that so the thing about it is you have to understand, if he was really like that, do you really believe that he would have all that subscribership? And he has a very diverse subscribership as well. Most of his subscribers, well, that may change. I would say was still men, but that may change. But it's definitely a diverse subscribership. And you have to understand, and when you hear women as well as men say this, what they're doing is they're manipulating black women. Basically, what they're doing is they're trying to say that he's effeminate, he's this, and as a result, he latches out on women. You have to really ask yourself why females would call in order to volunteer for that if they really believe that's how he was. And a lot of women that call in have said they're fans of his show. I will tell you, once you've seen 3 of his shows, for the most part, you got a good feel for what it is. So this idea, I mean, yeah, you got a feel for what it is. So this idea that you'll have these people that listen, whether it's 3 weeks or 2 weeks, because he does a show damn near 3-4 times a week, and they're not. And they're not going to see the context by which he responds to different situations. Is bullshit. But see, again, what you're doing is you're taking advantage of the ignorant. You're taking advantage of people that all they saw was a ripped video from World Star Hip Hop that wasn't even an uploaded video. That's a clip that was ripped from them. That's why he put the main video. And they want to use that he's an emotional abuser as a mechanism to basically just discredit him, because on the merits, they actually agree with what he's being said. And so we also have to, I also am going to segue into the idea of how he said it. The truth is, the issue with how he said it was that he's a heterosexual black man. It's the same thing with the dude, the Kevin guy, that owns True Restaurant. It doesn't matter how you say it. If you talk to black, like, I think if you talk to black women like you're equal to them, they have an issue. And the truth is, what I would say to any black female that wants to operate, the problem is, a lot of you women that say that, you all have an issue with black men operating from a masculine frame. And I'm not gonna act like that video is not the is not the most flattering. I'm not. But at the same time, it's one of those things where all you all have a channel. You go to his channel and see if that's indicative of how he communicates with women. Kevin has quite a few videos that are really just him uploading from other conversations he's had of women, and you get it. Now this is so, and I'm really talking about just how he conducts himself on the show. And so really this is beyond him, and it's really about black women expecting black men to communicate with them from a submissive position, whereby they say black men are weak. So really they expect black men that they're not as sexually attracted to operate a certain way, versus they expect black men they are sexually attracted to operate a certain way. This is what goes on in the background of a lot of these females that a lot of these dudes, these people take advantage of. The truth is, Kevin guy has a hell of a lot more people that actually support what he does. I'm talking about women than ones that don't. And the thing two is that I would ask before I forget is I would ask anybody that doesn't believe me. If you're listening to me and you think what I'm saying is complete bullshit, you have that right. But what I would say to you is go produce. Go find on YouTube. I would challenge you to do this and put a video in the comment section. Go produce a video of a black man saying something that you don't like, that you don't agree with. The top 10 things. Black men don't like weed. Black men don't like you being overweight. Black women don't like the attitude. In a space where black women actually feel good. Produce a black man saying that to a black woman in which an attitude is not gotten or an attitude is not created. Produce that. I submit to you, you cannot. Because I submit to you that the real issue you have is that it's a black man telling you, and it's like, who the fuck is any black man to tell a black woman shit? Because you all have issues with black men as a collective group. I'm talking about the females that operate this way. I'm not saying you can't be annoyed about how he said it, but when you hear so many females saying, I agree with what he said, but not how he said it, what that's saying is, I logically understand and actually concur with the conclusion he came to. I just emotionally don't agree with it, or I identify with that woman. Also, her Facebook is out there. I'm not going to put any links, but I've seen her pictures. No, she doesn't have a body. And no, it doesn't make it up. And I'm not trying. And here's the thing. People, when men do that shit, women have no problem saying that they're delusional or that they're losers. But apparently, because a woman has a vagina that bleeds 30 days, every 30 days, shout out to Mr. Research for that comment, that they don't have a right to be told. And it's because a lot of you all are spoiled. Because women in other countries do not operate this way, not to this degree. And this is a big reason why other women are able to come and raid your men, because this level of delusion is just something that people are only going to deal with for so long. And you're dealing with generations that are just not going to deal with that. So again, I say you produce a video where a man is saying something a black woman doesn't like, and black women are not wilding out about it. You see it on social media all the time, where black women get upset about dudes that are famous or not famous do. But when a white dude does it, they don't have a problem. Shout out to Alonzo Blue Blazer for showing that in his stuff. Watching white men disrespect black women and black women laughing the shit off. We see this, we observe it. And as far as the dudes that want to take advantage of that, a lot of y'all are the worst ones. A lot of y'all are the worst ones that disrespect black women. Make sure y'all get the likes up. So this idea of emotional abuse, like you all, come on, you're fronting. Like I had one dude that I know personally in real life say that what he did was cruel. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? Like there's a video of a chick running a nigga over and throwing a bumper on him, killing him, screaming at him, and you don't hear that type of language being used. I mean, reason why I support what Kevin is doing is because there needs to be there's a lack of candor in the black community that has eroded trust at a community level to the extent you believe the black community is an actual community. And that is not a renewable resource. That shit's like trees. It takes a long time to grow that shit. It doesn't matter what you want to believe in, what anybody tells you. You all know, as women as well as men, that when trust is broken, that shit is never really comes back. Not really. You can lie to yourself, delude yourself. You know this is true. When certain bonds amongst humans are broken, you can't refix them. And even if you somehow are able to, they will never be what they once were. That's not debatable. And anybody who wants to debate that is either you're not wise enough or quite frankly, yeah, that's all I'm gonna say. And there's very few things I say on that, but that's true. And the thing about it is, when you look at like what these millennials are doing and how they operate the way they operate versus millennials versus Gen X, is there's no trust. There's no trust in the black community. Now, Kevin's somebody that's pro marriage. I'm pro do what's in your best interest. And I'm never going to tell a black man to do something that's against his best interest for the greater good, for the greater community, because it's the community's job to make it in his best interest. I look at it like insurance. It's the insurance company's job to basically provide benefits that allows an aggregation of people to see the individual benefits of collectively pooling their resources together to receive such benefits. Every other group has this built in. Black people get this wrong because we have a fundamental cultural defect that is not being fixed. I call it the gynocracy, which is powered by white supremacy, in which women have been made to be the buffer class as a foundation, and then you got like black immigrants here and there. You got mixed people, all that shit. But the women are the foundation as far as the buffer, and you see that happening in Greater America as well. So when words matter, and the English language is a dramatic language. And so we have a lot of words that repeat. We have a lot of words that can have double meanings based on context. And what happens is people use that as a appreciate it, Coach Ali's Corner. I finally caught you on the live. Shout out to Edward. I appreciate that. Make sure y'all get the likes up with 52 we're at 52 people watching, 21 likes. Make sure let's get it up to like 40. So my thing, and I would invite you. I mean, I don't know. I don't want to. I don't. I know it's gonna seem raggedy doing this from my phone. So whatever. But I would invite you all to, like, once you're done listening to me. There's a sister. I know this is gonna be raggedy. So whatever. I'm just jerry rigging this. There's a sister that now that has a video. So just type in Kevin Samuels. And I know people get upset about me promoting if I promote another female, but whatever. Just type in Kevin Samuels in the search. She should pop up if you scroll down a little bit. She's got 99 subscribers, whatever. But, my point is this is a woman that's attractive that agrees with Kevin. She's saying it in a nice way, but she's saying the things that really should be said to really help that chick out. That agrees with what I'm talking about. And so you can't say she's not attractive. You can't say all that other BS and she's saying the same thing. So at what point do you have to hear reality for what it is? Shooting a messenger is like, and this is the thing that people do. They try to make it about something else as a mechanism of getting away from the point. Yeah, he has a point, but how he said it. Okay, here's the thing. Black women, here's the thing about women in general. If you're gonna, like, nobody, time does not care. Well, in this space, no, that's not Jessica X. That's not Jessica X. Type in Kevin Samuels. I'll put the link. I'll actually put the link in this video to I'll put the link to. This is actually the only video she has up. So I think this is like her first thing in YouTube. And it's got like 3,500 subscribers. Trust me, she's not going to need you niggas' help. The truth is, how she look and how she comes across, it don't matter what the fuck she say. She going to find a way to have subscribers. I can already see that just looking at it. But she had a lot of really good points. And if you're, and the reason why I'm even promoting that is you have to understand that thi- I don't care how you get the information. My thing is, I'm going to show you that I can provide a variety of vectors and archetypes that will say the same thing. So if you want to say, I'm short, I'm this, as one chick tried to say, I'm gross because I was eating Chick-fil-A, whatever, I'm this, okay, fine. That's your right. I'm going to show you an attractive woman saying the same shit, a dude that is a verified millionaire saying the same shit, a dude that you can't say is effeminate saying the same shit. I'm going to show you multiple people saying the same shit, not just one, not just two, because I want you to know that it's the conversation. It is the point. You can't hide behind a point. So I have no problem doing that because I know what the fuck I'm saying stands on some shit. Make sure y'all get the likes up. I don't know her name. Let me see. Y'all niggas are talking about give her name. Well, I get it. I get it. Her name is Avery Woodley. Avery. So type in Avery Woodley. But the truth is, because her channel is so small, I might have to just give you a link. But let her know you appreciate that common sense and letting you, because when these women put themselves out there and they go against the sisterhood, I don't even think she know what the fuck is gonna come for her. Because the way she look, you gonna have a lot of jealous bitches that's gonna be attacking her, calling her all sorts of pick me and shit because they gonna be mad. They gonna see her and they gonna get triggered. That's all I got to say. They gonna see her and they gonna get triggered. We already know. So anyway, I'll promote the link. But yeah, that's her name. Well, I mean, Smargo, here's my thing. It doesn't matter if you believe they shouldn't have a voice, they do. And that's not going to change. So you can either harp on them not having a voice, or you can basically, I don't mean to say use like manipulate, but you can leverage their voice as a way of basically saying, we are the arbiters of common sense. And this is what it is. That's how I see it. I'm not sitting here telling y'all what. At the end of the day, y'all is a lot of y'all. I was on Jessica X shit. A lot of y'all are over there anyway. So for all the niggas that got something about Jessica X and how the fact she don't show her face, here's a female that does. Now this is just one video. I'm talking about that video. And again, y'all know that I share dudes channels all the time. A lot of Rogers boost got because I wanted directed y'all over there because he was doing great content. So my thing is like whatever. But my point, and that's your opinion. But just understand, they're not gonna stop having a voice. I mean, shit. Mainstream media, mainstream social media is all dominated by female voice because the advertising dollars, because they spend all their fucking money. But anyway, back on topic. The thing about it is, like, and this is why a lot of women felt the need to call in the Kevin show, even though he instructed only women to disagree. Because the truth is, a lot of women, they are getting value. Women that are in relationships, and that woman's in a relationship. The woman that I talked to, Nurse Nerd, is married. Like, again, women that they see the value. So people can see the problem is, and let me say it in another way. When the top 10% or the top 1% of white people, the way they control all other white people. So you have the white people, the 1%, the 10%, which is the managerial class, and then you got everybody else as far as white folks. The thing is, they control the bottom 50% of white people by saying that race is your issue. That black man is somehow doesn't have any fucking economic wealth is somehow your problem. That Latin dude is your problem. That Asian dude is your problem. They do that as a mechanism for you not to pay attention to them, to pay attention to the 1%, the 10%, to cut off any Occupy Wall Street type shit. They do the same thing. And so in the way you deal with women is you say black men are the reason for your shit. So they never have to take responsibility. But you cannot level up without it is impossible to level up without taking responsibility. Taking responsibility is not about you blaming yourself. Taking responsibility is accepting that you are the causation of your reality, and by you empowering yourself as that causation, you making different decisions can create different outcomes. It has nothing to do with everyone else. See, the problem is women are very binary with that type of shit. What they will say is either all his fault or all my fault. Men are more so, okay, what decisions did I made to create this, and what decisions were kind of out of my control, and where basically I trusted somebody and I got burnt. And see, this is why every 12-step program requires that you accept that you are at fault, because that is a part of you accepting responsibility for what happened, so you can accept responsibility for your own empowerment. Most success books, see, you hear all these females, these insta thoughts, and all these chicks that want, or all these gossip chicks that want to give little lessons. That's the one thing you never hear, because that's the one thing women do not want to fucking hear. And again, I say it before, I said it in the Kevin shit. I'm gonna say it again. Make sure you all like and subscribe if you all are new. If you do not accept responsibility, and see, but at the end of the day, when black men are saying in the manosphere, is we are talking about the collective, like, communication between black men and black women, the relationships. That's what we're talking about. See, everybody likes to try to perceive what we're saying is we should get this without doing that. No, black men individually, that's up to them as to what they want to do. But as a collective, the reason why the black community is this way and it seems like it's always stagnant, it's not getting better, and it's getting worse, is because of the shit that we talk about that the mainstream media refuses to mention, the academia refuses to mention, that mainstream social media, radio, everything that you hear. Remember, your perception of reality comes from five senses: smell, taste, touch, hearing, and sight. Sight is the most dominant, and really hearing, I believe, is like the second most dominant. Is the second most dominant. So when you look at what you see on the media and what you hear through the radio, that is pretty much informing your reality when it comes to culture and stuff like that. And you never hear really black men are really speaking, or when you do, it's in a very controlled setting, or when you do, they're fucking moist or gay or fucking cucked in some way. But women are able to speak very freely, very openly, because really the only rules that women are really given is that women have to throw black men under the bus. If black women are not doing that, see, if you notice, when black women start talking some real shit, they start losing that mic real quick. A lot of y'all don't understand that, and that's why you hear the same shit over and over and over again, to the extent it's been happening really in the mainstream media since the 90s in the talk show circuit, to the point where you got people that grew up just believing niggas ain't shit. It's in their head. And it doesn't matter. And women don't ever question, like, if they're attracted to a nigga, that means he ain't shit. Meaning the women that don't operate this way don't have these problems. This is why Lori Cutno said on Boys Watching shit. She said the problem is television. Y'all, these too many black people are watching TV and on social media, and that's what's raised them. That's why she said that, and that was very air apparent in that video, and air apparent in a lot of those calls, because that's the main way that feminism is injected, other than college. No, so I'm gonna go through some of y'all stuff. Um, because I've already said the first initial part of it, as far as, but when people use words like emotional abuse and all that, like, this is anti-black shit. This is anti-black male hatred. Because the reality of the situation is, you'll never hear somebody say that if a black boy is out, like teenagers out there protesting, and then a black mother is hitting him on top of the head, and when all the white media celebrates that shit, and the mainstream black social media celebrate that shit, you'll never call that abuse. See, women are never accused of being bad mothers and abusing their children or abusing men. But black people are very comfortable trying to flip that script. And so the thing with Kevin is what you saw all of the typical shit. You saw dudes, he's gay, he's abused, he's all this. And you notice how you can very rarely separate the bitches from the dudes. Because this is a cultural thing. Black men are far more culturally comfortable critiquing other black men than they are black women. Black women are far more culturally comfortable critiquing other black men than they are black women. So at what point, and at the end of the day, you don't get around this. You don't fix this culture, the black community is done. These millennials will occupy in 8 years. That means one election cycle, two election cycles, two presidential election cycles. They will occupy shit. I'm in my office. Anyway, they will occupy they will occupy all the way up to 30 years old, the dating market. So they will occupy the prime dating market. These millennials do not give a fuck. These millennials do not care about dating black women. If you are not a woman that they're sexually attracted to, that's it. They have no problem taking, for the most part, bringing a white chick or a Latin chick to their mamas. They don't care. All of the black loyalty and stuff, that's gone, and that's been trust has been eroded through the last 3 generations based on female fuckery for the most part. You can believe that, not believe that. I know a lot of you all see it, and the women that don't see it, on the good end, you all might be spared because you all might be in pockets. But for the most part, just like real estate, if you have a bad net, when the foreclosure crisis was happening, everywhere wasn't Phoenix, everywhere wasn't Florida. But that does not mean that everybody was in a good market either. And a lot of people will try to pretend it doesn't exist, and this is why shit bites black people in the ass. Because it's like they want to be like la la la. I don't hear you. I don't hear you. So anyway, what's up, Liam, Young Jay, Smurgo? Make sure you subscribe to Smurgo if you're not already. Again, I'll be promoting that Telegram. Richard just in, bro, you can't grow your channel with misspelled words and titles every time. I don't know. I've grown my channel pretty well, but I'll get better with the titles. You gotta understand, dude. I'm doing this live stream on my phone, and a lot of times I want to get the shit up. I can always change the title, but yeah, there is an effect that has. But whatever, man. The point is, I'm live. That's it. But I hear you. Young Jay says he only went live once this whole week. I'm betting he isn't gonna go live much as before. Okay, you talk about Kevin. I don't know about that. Kevin, I don't know. We'll wait and see. I mean, Kevin was already kind of doing a break. And then what happened, I think this shit happened, so I think he extended that. And that probably was a smart move from a marketing decision. But I think he will. Because at the end of I think he will. He'll just have to ease into it. It just depends on what he's trying to do. But I don't know. Smurgo says, I've seen some men saying she looks good. Some even say she was bad. Okay, Smurgo, what you have to understand is black men have extremely low standards. So understand that when black men were saying that, maybe some of them were gaslighting, but a lot of them were telling the truth. Black men have horrible standards, and it is really a cultural observation that black women tend to have the highest standards in the men that they want, and black men tend to have the lowest. That's interesting. But I've seen dudes say women that are fat, I mean obese, are bad. So you can't never take black men seriously as to what they say generally as far as looks, because they don't know no better. Young Jay says at least she isn't fat, but she doesn't have a body. No, she doesn't. Ice Edward with the late night. Appreciate that. Ice Young Jay. Yep, she spit on him. I remember Tommy covering it. Ooh, yeah, I remember that. Primetime VA. A lot of. I mean, think about Centoya Brown and her. I don't know if she killed a white dude or who she killed, but think of Centoya Brown, that light skinned chick that they advocated for getting out, and now she's like with a celebrity. Think about this chick, Anne Marie, the singer that killed her quote unquote side dude, and you have women advocating coming out. You would never see that if it's a dude. So clearly that should tell you that there's something going on that's different than like what we saying on YouTube. Make sure y'all get the likes up. Let's get it above 50. We're at 70 watching. Smurga, wait, that dude who got ran over by his girl died. I thought he survived but was critically. I think he did die. But the point is, even if he didn't, I mean, his life has changed forever. Now, at the same time, it is personal responsibility. When you're around niggas like that, and you got to understand, he's got kids with her, which is already a mistake, and he stuck around. But I'm not even going to apply her as a black woman. When you're dealing with females that are like hormonally imbalanced like that, dude, that's a time bomb. It really is. And you really, Chris Silverman says, what's the women's name from the Kevin Samuels video? I forget. It don't matter. I don't know. Smurgo, women shouldn't have voice. No, really, it's okay. 06 Goddess. I don't know who that is. I kind of know his, but no. Marathon plus Edward abandoned. So when title ladies, Kevin Samuels is not wrong. Yeah, what's a lot of titles that say ladies Kevin Samuels not wrong. So, like I said, type in Kevin Samuels in the search and her stuff will pop up because it is popping up. But yeah, I'll put the link in the comment section. I mean, let her know that you hear her, you appreciate it. Again, it's one video. We'll see where it goes. Like I said, I'm not trying to I'm not gonna keep on promoting her or anything. I just thought that all these chicks is talking all this shit about Kevin, and this got makeup like Yanni and shit, makeup, cake face, weave used to be huge. So of course you're gonna be triggered. So let's talk to it. Let's see about a female that's not like that. This doesn't have all that baggage, and see what they think. So be like, guess what? This bitch looks, but this chick, I don't even call her bitch. This female looks better than you. And guess what she's saying? And again, this is not about being right. This is about what common sense is. Like I said, man, Kevin's definition of a court. My thing is, his definition, he has a unique definition of a high value man because he's talking about like class. That's the thing. And a lot of black people have an issue with that. I understand what he's saying when he says that, and he's not wrong, but he's talking about it from a class vector. The way I talk about it is who these women want. Because if you're a man that a lot of women want, irregardless if you have a lot of money or not, like I call it dick coin or I call it sexual genetic currency or sexual currency, then women are going to run into the same problems typically because it's a law of supply and demand. Now, that's not really why Kevin's saying what he's saying because he's talking about things that lead to marriage. Because I'm talking about just the dating market in general, but it comes into the same thing. So it doesn't matter if you want to make an argument on what a high value man is. Let's not make that argument. Give me the nigga that can get the draws on site. Because the nigga that can get the draws on site for you, is chances are the nigga get the draws on site for a lot of females. They are in high demand, regardless of their money. So if they're in high demand, then guess what? It's going to be similar things. You have to go through the other females. You're not going to get these dudes and make them be in one relationship with you and not be fucking. That's stupid. You don't want the boring guys, but you want to make the dudes that can get all the bitches the boring guys. And the high value man argument is a lot of these chicks are broke. And a lot of these chicks did it the feminism way and it don't work. And see, the thing is, a lot of feminists, even though white single motherhood is north of 50% now and is growing, the thing is, these white women are not giving up their husbands like that. Not in the same numbers black women did. They convinced black women to do that bullshit. And then they accept the corporation as their daddy. Some of them accepted corporations as their daddy. Some of them accepted the white man, the government as on their daddy. At the end of the day, you all are still the fucking housemaids of this country. You all are just doing it in a different way that just makes you feel better about yourselves. That's the only difference. But they flipped your ass. Well, yeah, and the thing, and then, like I said, I was looking at Kevin Samuels thing, and I said, "Oh, let me look at this. Wow, she only got 100 subscribers. She probably put a video out." But the thing about it is, and I know how a lot of you niggas feel about Dominica or Marie, and yeah, there's some the things about that there. Because if I was talking to Danica straight up, I'd say, "Look, Danica, the issue here's my thing as a black man." We're not getting around this gynocracy shit. The black community, and I'm gonna keep it real with you. Danica Marie actually believes in women building dudes up and then develop getting loyalty from dudes by way of doing that. So that's another interesting thing is that would have been her best bet. And the truth is she don't even really have the looks to do that. Like honestly, and I'm not trying to be mean about that. This is not about telling women what they can't have. This is about saying, okay, do you want to be happy? Because this is a deeper issue. And that's one thing that woman talked about. This is a deeper issue. Like, one of the things I like about that video that Avery did is she said something I have said. It's supposed to be women in your own peer group or social group that's supposed to really kind of align you, really check that shit. It should have never really been on Kevin to do that. That shit, your own women in your own group are supposed to do that. And so that's one of the things I've been saying about it's a failure. But anyway, y'all check out the video. It's not that long. I'll post it in the comment section, and plus it's something for y'all to look at too. Yeah, Black King, but they think that's an avatar. So, that's what they say. I don't know. That's what they say. I don't care for women on the men panels, but we do need women speaking in their spaces. We do. Yeah, I agree with that, Richard. And as far as women on their panels, the thing is, man, I understand where a lot of y'all are coming from. People gonna do what they want to do, and you're gonna have to let them learn at their own pace. But what I will say is this: I will say that people got to get good at sniffing that shit out. Like, like a lot of these women that like to play games, they need to be sniffed the fuck out very quickly and they need to be removed. Just because a woman is on a panel don't mean they got to remain on a panel. It's like this. Look, if you're here to add, you're more than happy to be here. If you're here to just play, even if you're not somebody that's been in the space for a minute, then you're not gonna be here because you're not gonna waste our time. You're just not. This is open, and this is, and see, and the truth is, even dudes that do that shit, because you gotta think, even dudes that disagree on some dumb shit, they get a lot of rope too. NBA fan was being facetious when he said that. I can recognize that. No, she's not, man. But like whatever. I'm not gonna sit here and cape. Y'all can see the video. Y'all can see the video. No, really, it's okay. Says you have to have self esteem to handle your own discipline. Absolutely. And I'm gonna tell you, one of the things about mode one is you have to be like a woman has a right to reject you for whatever reason. And if you can understand that and be able to deal with that and accept that, then the world is your oyster because that's the only power they have over you. If you can completely remove their ability to validate your manhood or not, they have no control over you and they have zero control. That's really, if anything, you can try to learn and self improve on. That's easier said than done. You will never completely remove the sting of rejection, but if you can bounce back quickly and there's ways of doing that, then they have zero control over you, and that's probably the ultimate thing you can red pill. You will never be truly red pill until you master that. You just won't. Finally, somebody live. What's up, Swag P? I think she married to Tyrone Woodley. He won her best. Yeah, he did. Yep, Shantoya Brown did do that. The dumbass motherfucker. And I'm gonna tell you, I hope the best for him. But if something happens, I'm like, nigga, I don't want to hear it. Smurl said after I seen brothers call that woman from Kevin's show bad, it's clear a lot of brothers ain't got no say. Dude, Smurgo. Like you have no idea. I've put before after pictures on my Facebook of women that look like they ate themselves, and the niggas say I fucked both. A lot of these niggas are poor and broke. They're poor and broke, and they're sexual, and they've actually created a culture where that shit is acceptable because of their status. And this is why I always say that black men are not deluded. You don't got black men being broke, poor, talking about I can get a bad chick. If they can get one, they'll get it, but take their chances. But you don't got dudes doing that. But you got women doing that. Shout out to Judge Dre. Roe was the sharpest one on the entire panel. She acknowledged that Black Americans matriarchal should give up on this place and plan for Africa. I wasn't expecting that. No, man, Roe. Okay, so first of all, here's the thing. Roe gives women the business, but understanding Roe can say some shit. It'd be have you side eyeing her, but for the most part, especially like Roe, black women hate Roe. Roe has had pages taken down, channels, because black women hate Roe. There is a certain hatred that they have for Roe because Roe is a representative of a light skinned chick trying to preach down to them. And she is extremely unapologetic about it. She's unapologetic about it and she's ruthless about it. Roe will tell you straight up, like you heard what she said. And you notice Boyce Watkins was really taken aback. And the truth is that the darker skinned woman too was actually agreeing. She wasn't going as far as Roe was going, but she wasn't disagreeing with what Roe was saying either. She was concurring with what Roe was saying. And the thing about it is, it really made Boyce's wife look bad. And I'm like, dude, your job is to protect her image. And as an academic that you don't talk in fields that you don't really know what the fuck you talking about. Just because you're a woman doesn't he assumed that all the women would agree or have at least some agreements. And the fact that they diverse like that, it really made his wife look like deers and headlights. And she looks like a nice woman, but it really made her look. It really did. It wasn't a good look. It just wasn't. And then the fact that she hopped off, and then she was one of the main ones talking that emotional abuse and shit like that. And it's like you can't say you're strong, and not that his wife says it, but you can't be on the strong independent tip. And when you get some heat, you want to get mad. You just can't do that. And the thing is, I've seen, and here's the thing. I'm not. It's people would say, "Well, if he would have did that to you, how would you feel?" Okay, I've called into Jason Black a couple of times, and the thing about it is, Jason Black is much harder to talk to than Kevin. The way I think about it is Jason Black is like talking to a football coach, and it's a lot easier to deal with because you understand where he's coming from. But a lot of dudes cannot stand talking to Jason Black. And they get very angry about that, and I understand that. And a lot of women, he's a little bit less on that than women. I've seen Jason Black hold the line on females too. He may not get like visually mad like that, but the asshole turns up in a different way. He just can hold his frame a little bit more, and it doesn't Jason doesn't telegraph frustration like Kevin was doing, but that's by design too. That's by design too. That's not just something Kevin's doing because he can't control it. That's by design. Kevin's doing that on purpose. So I want y'all to understand. So a lot of people thought, oh, he just did. No, no. Because I'm gonna tell you, when you're raised around a lot of women, that body language, that's just another way of really telegraphing the body language without you cussing their ass out and using verbal words, especially when you're dealing with family members where they can really be take grudges on shit like that. Black community is already done, fam. So and yeah, I would argue, bro. I say no, it's not a matriarchy, it's a gynocracy. We use the term matriarchy because a lot of people don't understand what gynocracy is, but the Jewish community is a matriarchy for the most part. The black community is a gynocracy, powered by white supremacy. And then as far as her talking about Africa, I'm like, bro, you live in France. France is one of the biggest leeches of Africa. Maybe she's done some different shit and she's invested in Africa or something. That might be true. I don't know. Maybe I'm not like an avid follower of hers. I stopped following her after a while, but she started like tripping a little bit. But I will tell you that if you're looking for other women, because here's the thing, I'm not telling you all to subscribe to other women and promote other women. That's not my point. My point is a lot of you niggas on social media, a lot of you niggas on Instagram, a lot of you niggas on Facebook or Twitter. Stop bullshitting me like you all don't be interacting in these groups. What you all need to do is arm these guys and say, here, bitch, if you don't want to hear it from me, guess what? I got a link for you. You show this Avery chick. Guess what? Free promotion. You show her Ro and some of the stuff Ro's talk about, share the videos of me. You give them the links and say, if you can't hear from me, what you got to say about this chick or this chick? I got a dark skinned chick that'll say something. I got a chick that's married that'll say something. How you want it? If it's really the messenger, I got a messenger for your ass. If you need a dude, I got a verified millionaire that'll say it. Light skinned millionaire, dark skinned millionaire, tall millionaire. How you want it? Dude that's got a following. People that's got followers. How you want it? I got a chick that